very generous. At least they are when they're not trying to kill you. Ah! Ah! But when you've got mountains of gold that you can trade to them, they'll give you all sorts of great items. Now you can't take pigs to the overworld because then they turn into zombie pigs, and zombie pigs are not so generous. But you can build lots of fancy bartering setups in the nether that you can get all sorts of interesting items from. But I'm not a big fan of sorting things in the nether. You see, you either end up having to build weird slime launchers and ice tracks, or having to use lots of hoppers. And you know how much I hate slow hoppers. It's much easier to just send all of our items going off through water streams. And that's where the power of piggy portals comes in. So here we have lots of gold being fired in to a little box at the back here. We do it on a special timing system, and we fire the gold to the pigs, and then the pigs try and trade with us. They try and throw us the items. Instead, the items get sucked up by this portal and thrown out here to get sorted into our nice little sorting system. So I'm going to teach you how to build this super simple, very straightforward Piglin portal powered bartering setup. First things first, we're going to find ourselves in the nether. Doesn't matter where you build this, I like to build things on the nether roof because I'm lazy and don't like spawn-proof stuff. But you can build it pretty much anywhere. I would suggest building it somewhere in close proximity to a gold farm. First thing we need is a fairly bog standard portal, but I'm going to go 3 wide. And we can light that up straight away. Next thing we need is some trapdoors and some building blocks. And we're just going to make a little chamber that our pigs are going to go in. We want this chamber to be 2 wide at the floor and to have the walls at least 2 high for now. Next thing we need to do is just shove a line across here. And then we're going to pop some trapdoors just here. And then we're going to pop some trapdoors here as well. Now when the pigs are in here, they're not going to be able to get up or walk towards you and go towards the portal. They're going to be stuck in this nice little bit here. But they can still see you through the portal. That's where the magic happens. Next thing we need is just a little path up for the pigs to follow you into the trap. And then we're going to build some walls up a little bit higher either side for the pigs to fall in. If we pop some trapdoors down, there, and there, and around here. Open those 2. Now we just need to wrangle up some pigs. Now it's very important that we don't get crossbow pigs. We want ones with swords on. Look, jump over, and there he goes. He falls in there. Go get another pig. Run away! We can repeat this for a while. Once you've got in all the pigs that you want, make sure you name them. This is where it becomes very important that you didn't get any crossbow pigs, because they will shoot you through the portal and you're going to take some damage, so we don't want that. I usually aim to have multiples of 3 in this little portal frame. The more pigs you have, the quicker you can barter items. The next thing we need is some droppers, which we're going to place here. And then we can build a little roof up on top of our pigs, like so. I would recommend making sure that once we've finished this little build project that we spawn-proof any exposed blocks that are left. The next thing we need is some hoppers running into the back of our droppers, some chests or double chests on the back. For my own ease, I like to pop 3 target blocks on top of here and some redstone dust on top of here. You don't have to wire it up like this, but it's just for my laziness. Next thing you want is an observer, so you're getting the pulse out the back that's going to trigger the target blocks, which trigger the droppers underneath once. And then we're going to build an etho hopper clock. So first thing we need is a redstone block here. Stick a sticky piston there. And a sticky piston here. Extend this out a little bit. Pop a block here. Pop a block here. Blob of redstone. Blob of redstone. Then we want 2 hoppers facing into each other in front of this redstone block and this empty block here. So place a hopper down, come around the back, pop a hopper there, going into it, break it, pop another hopper going into that one. Need a comparator that comes out of it, and a comparator coming out of that one. and we're going to stick in some items. Now, every single time that all of the items move from one hopper to another, it's going to move this little redstone block. Each time, it's going to fire the observer, which is going to pulse the droppers once. This is where we're going to unfortunately get into some complicated maths. It takes approximately 0.4 seconds for one item to transfer between each hopper, and it takes 6 seconds for a piglin to trade some gold. So if we take 6 seconds and divide that by 0.4, we end up with 15. So in theory, if we put 15 items in here, this should fire once every 6 seconds. However, just for safety, I always like to put in one extra item. It's slightly inefficient, but just so we don't have any wasted gold, I'd rather err on the side of caution. But viral, you might think. That's only if you have 3 pigs. Why are we doing multiples of 3? And how often am I firing it if I have more pigs? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to take 6, and then we need to divide that by the amount of groups of 3 pigs that we have, which will then divide again by 0.4, and then that should give us roughly the... Do you know what? Nobody needs to hear me waffle about what I'm doing on a calculator. So if you look here, just on the side of the screen, I'm going to put some numbers. Maths, maths, we're doing some maths, we're doing maths, the maths, we're doing some maths, the maths. Hey! Well, now we've done all of our little maths, we'll quickly spawn-proof a nice little AFK platform for us to stand on. And we'll pop up here and quickly spawn-proof all of the spawnable blocks that we might find up here. It's usually a good idea to pop composters on top of any hoppers that have exposed tops. This just helps reduce lag. Usually at this point I'll just chuck in 10 or so gold ingots in here. We'll come stand around here and we'll let some items get thrown through the portal just to check everything's being thrown in the correct place. And more helpfully, you can see which side of the portal the items have been thrown to. So once we know which side of the portal the items are going to come through, we build a 2-wide water stream, usually with some ice at the bottom, run the items so they flow up against some honey blocks, and put an impulse item sorter underneath it. I'm not going to teach you how to build an impulse item sorter, there's a million videos out there, but I will pop a link over in the description that has a link to Impulse's original video, which will give you a guideline if you're not sure what you're doing. Now if you do want to put an off switch on this so the gold isn't firing even when you're not sat in the little AFK spot, you can pop a switch on the bottom of the block on the right with the redstone on it. Now it'll only fire when the switch is on, and if you turn it off it will lock the hopper clock. You do need to stand here or the pigs won't be able to see you to throw the items to you. Now you can stand here for as long as you want with as much gold as you've got, getting lots of tasty items thrown into your new fancy Piglin portal powered bartering system. I've only got 9 pigs in here, which means I'm getting 3 bunches of items thrown at me every 2 seconds, which is plenty fast for me and for my needs, but if you want to have more pigs in there you can. You just need to speed up the hoppers, firing the gold into the setup. And I hope you found all of that really helpful. I've been meaning to do a little video on the Piglin portal-powered bartering petup for quite a while, so I finally got round to it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week, but hopefully it'll be something exciting, and we're definitely going to try and keep to this weekly schedule. I hope you're enjoying my videos, and I'll see you next week. Bye!